Okay, okay. Maybe somewhere. All right. So, or whatever you have been taught from last. Alright, so we're starting now, and I'm grateful to Yellowquest Academy and Yellowquest founder for giving me such an opportunity to speak to you on blockchain. And this is going to be one of the easiest ways you would understand blockchain, literally. So it's just, I'll call this blockchain in 60 minutes, the essentials. Blockchain in 60 minutes. So you're going to know about blockchain in the next couple of minutes, and you get to understand what it really entails. So basically, you've heard of blockchain, you've heard of what is, you've heard of crypto, you've heard of Web3, and you may be confused. In fact, most persons think rather blockchain is crypto, and crypto is Web3. But all of them are different things, literally. They are so unique in their meanings and unique in how an approach to it. So, alright, and I'll just be speaking on basically blockchain. I want you all to pay attention. Can you hear me, guys? Alright, Edition, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright, so before I start, what I would do is I think you're the only student here. I don't know. I would love you to introduce yourself to me. Then I would tell introduce myself to everyone too, please.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Etitio. So, hello. Is that okay, or do you like need further info?
Yeah, further info would be better.
Okay, like on further info on what exactly like what I do in the space, or
Now, there's something I learned from a mentorship program. When you're asked to introduce yourself, there are certain things. I mean, you love persons to know about you. So, first of all, okay, let me introduce myself. So, good evening, everyone. And I am Assam's Oslin, Web3 community manager, and I've been in the space for 4 years, and I have this experience, vasting into Discord server development and community management and even community moderation. I am the founder of Workers Tao, which is a Web3 organization, and I have managed NFT projects, DeFi projects, and music-based projects, even meme-coin projects basically. So that's the sort of introduction that's expected. Okay.
Mr. Oslin, Eddie Young, anybody, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Why blockchain? So there's transparency. All transactions are visible to participants. So a dev moves a certain amount of money on the blockchain. You are able to see it. A certain hack happens on the blockchain. You are able to see it. This is happening. This is happening. You are able to see it. It's super transparent. Okay, so that's why we chose blockchain. That's why it's best to choose blockchain, and it is visible to all participants. And we now have security, okay? And now, in terms of security, we have it uses the technology called cryptography to secure data. I know your thinking was cryptography. Cryptography is how would I put this? Concept behind cryptocurrencies, okay, is very secure. Blockchain is so secure and immutable, cannot be taken out, cannot be wiped off. So it is so secure. The fact that people are losing their assets on the blockchain or whatsoever, losing their funds, is based on their own human errors, not the blockchain error, because these things have been programmed already. I don't know if you understand me. So the contract has been programmed already for something, and whether I like it or not, everything follows that contract, right? But now on your own human error part, you're sending a 20 token rather to what chain should I use? Probably one of these new chains, um ticketing chain or something. Two different chains. You're sending something from this to this without bridging or without swapping. You created that mistake, and because of that, you're losing that fund. So it is on your end. That's why centralized exchanges or even decentralized exchanges will always tell you, be mindful, make sure this is the correct address you're sending this to, or this is the correct contract you're sending this to. Okay. So now, like I said, we'll speak on some basic terms, and we said we'll talk on blockchain versus traditional databases. And we know traditional databases are centralized and can be altered. Yes, that bank records can be altered because see, it is handled by men. I know blockchain is handled by men too, but it's not that safe. That's the traditional database. It can be wiped out. Using it can be hacked, flashed, flashed off and erased. But you see, blockchain, it is there, immutable. So that transactions that happen in 2008 can be seen in 2025. That's how blockchain is. But I bet you in some banks, transactions that happen in just 2020 have been erased, and this is just 2025. So blockchain is decentralized and tamper-proof, immutable, like I said, the concept of immutability. All right. So I think Mary has joined in on the class. Mary, hello, good evening.
Sorry for running late. I closed from work very, very late. So that's why.
That's fine. Mary, could you introduce yourself to us? I don't know you. No one knows you here, right? So could you introduce yourself to us?
Okay, good evening once again. My name is Mary Lawrence. I'm new to the platform. So,
Alright, that's a fair introduction. Like I said, that's a fair introduction. I would score you 2 over 10. But I think I spoke to NTT on how introductions are like it is you selling yourself, telling the audience who you are, what you do, and your years of experience or something. Those things are important. Okay, those things are important. But glad to have you here, Mary. By the course of this, I know you'll be able to understand what blockchain is and how sorry how blockchain is and how all of this relates to we coming here as a community as we called again as Ello'Quest, teaching about these things. All right, thank you so much for joining in, Mary. So we started somewhere. I explained how the blockchain is, and I said the blockchain is a distributed ledger, a ledger that records transactions, secure, transparent, and immutable. Wait, if you can't get me, you could probably unmute yourself and speak. Before we start in, so we'll be going into the next thing we treat on pertaining to blockchain. Okay, now we have how does blockchain works. I don't know if any of you have an idea of how blockchain works. I'm eager to also hear from you. How does blockchain works? Sorry, was I okay? Let me rather Mary. No one has an idea. How does blockchain work?
well, like I said earlier, I'm new to blockchain and crypto. I'm more into IT support. So I'm here to learn and to know what blockchain is all about. I'm a novice.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, so you get to understand all of these things. So now, how blockchain works? There are basic terminologies in blockchain. Now, there's something called blocks, and a block contains data which are transactions, the hash, and the hash of the previous block. I don't know. I'll repeat. A block contains the data, that's transactions, and the hash of the previous block. Then there's something called chain. Now blocks are linked in sequences, you know, forming a chain that cannot be easily changed. That's why it's called a blockchain. These things are linked together. Blocks are linked in sequence, forming a chain that cannot be easily changed. Then we have nodes. Now computers that maintain and validate the blockchain network. And we have transaction and hashing. So transactions are recorded and given a unique cryptographic hash without fingerprints. Okay, I think I might drop most of these notes. Okay? And there's something called consensus mechanism, and so far there are like three consensus mechanisms. But we basically look at two mechanisms, which is the proof of work and the proof. So basically, the proof of work and solving puzzles to validate blocks on the blockchain. And proof of stake is validators staking coins to secure the network. Okay, I'll repeat that. So we have two basic consensus mechanisms, but these are not just the only consensus mechanisms, right? So first is the proof of work. And now the proof of work, miners solves puzzles to validate blocks from the proof of work. In fact, it's literally you literally working for these things, working that the blockchain is kept running to validate each blocks every time. Now for the proof of stake, it is validators staking coins or tokens or whatsoever secure the network. So these guys stake tokens on it that the network is secured and stable. And we also have what is public and private keys. And yeah, your public key is your wallet address. Yeah, it's your wallet address. It's visible to all. So that wallet address that probably must have send your wallet address, send your Web20 wallet address, send your Solana address. That's your public key. Why? Because it's a public way of people recognizing or sending assets to you. The public key. Now, there's something called a private key. Now, a private key is the password, strings of words, strings of codes, and most times strings of numbers and characters. Okay, and it's like a password. It keeps the secret to authorized transaction. Now, for every wallet you create, there's something that happens. There's something called a private key and a seed phrase. Now, those two things are private keys. They are things you keep in private, so safe because it's not meant for the open. For anyone that gets to see it, would be able to access your phone. But unlike your public key, which is the one out there that from your public key, that's what gives transparency in the blockchain. Because when one knows your public key, they know, okay, this transaction happened on this public key. Funds were taken from here to here. Some certain amount of probably a token was moved from here to here. So, do you understand me? Are we listening?
Yes. How to see?
Okay, he wants to see. All right, thank you so much. So we're going to the new in another section of this class. First, we had to treat on blockchain, why blockchain, and the rest of it, and we now had to go into how blockchain works, the key things in blockchain, and I make mention of blocks, chains, nodes, transactions, and hashing, consensus mechanisms, and public and private keys. So we'll go into real world application and ecosystems. Now, just as how I said, blockchain, Web3, and cryptocurrencies are different things, are so unique. Now we gotta find out that cryptocurrency comes under blockchain. Okay? So even Web3 comes under blockchain. Right? But now cryptocurrencies rather are just digital money. That's the basic way of explaining this to you. Digital money just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, different cryptocurrencies you can ever own or whatsoever. It's digital money, and these are built on the chain, and these are built on blockchain. Okay, that's why we have the Solana blockchain, we have the Binance Smart Chain, we have the Ethereum chain, we have different blockchains. Okay, so cryptocurrencies are just digital money, very easy. Digital money that can be spent, that can be used, that can be converted to real-time assets and money. Right? Now, another point, next thing we'd look at in real world application and ecosystem for blockchain is basically smart contract. Now, smart contract is self-executing programs on blockchain that automatically enforce rules. Like I said, this is why blockchain cannot be immutable or changed because you've set something in motion already. And this happens through written contracts. Just like a contract, I don't know if you're a law student or maybe you have idea of how contracts work. There's a course I studied in the university, engineering management and law. I think Atai, your founder, must have done that. Yeah. Talked on contract of law. What triggers a contract? What seals a contract, and all of that. So now in cryptocurrency or blockchain in itself, there's something called smart contract, and these contracts are self-executing. You don't need to go and be rewriting or writing or signing or whatsoever. All you need to do, this contract has been placed in motion. that when you connect your wallet or whatsoever, this contract, okay, get to self-execute themselves on account of you making a move. So smart contracts are self-executing programs on the blockchain that automatically enforce. And we also have decentralized applications, centralized application tabs, right? Decentralized applications, applications that run on blockchain. An example are DeFi, that's decentralized finance, non-fungible tokens, and all those concepts related to it. The applications that run on blockchain. Are you following me, everyone?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mary, for still sticking to me. You're listening. Okay, so now we're going to industries using blockchain. You have the finance. This helps in cross-border payments like DeFi. Okay. Oh, Eddie, Yomusor, thank you for the reaction. We have supply chain. They track product origin. We have gaming and NFTs. This is just digital ownership. We have identity management, secure ID verification. Okay, and we have key points. Blockchain. Key point is blockchain. Okay, we have something called wallet and how to create a wallet and the most basic wallet you've ever heard of. Even when I started blockchain, crypto, Web3, and all of it, is MetaMask. That was the most basic wallet because it has a lot in it. MetaMask, and very easy. All you just need to do is download MetaMask from your App Store or your Play Store. Save your seed phrase and your private key. I spoke on private keys because it's so important. Your wallet address can be out there. No one can tamper with your funds just by your wallet address. You can tamper with your funds by your seed phrase and your private key. Then also transactions on testnet. Now there's something in testnet in blockchain called testnet. Now it is trying testing new blockchains that want to emerge, and people that test these blockchains are usually rewarded. Okay? So they usually have it may be immediate rewards or long-term rewards. So testnets are new term. It's not a new thing, sorry, in blockchain. Something that has been there for the longest of time. Okay, so all you need to do, there are a lot of testnets out there where you could get involved in. Mitosis, they just dropped in their checker thing today. People that clicked on this, that farmed the testnet for over how many years? Yes, let's say yes, yeah, about 2 years now, because I think Mitosis have been that long. It's rewarding, literally. It's actually rewarding in blockchain. There's also deploying of smart contracts. Yeah, for people that are using their Web2 skill. Now, a Web2 skill could be coding. Yeah, coding literally. This is where we now have blockchain technologies where people in tech can be able to come in and blockchain. So Web3 now is the utilization of blockchain technologies. That's as easy as it is. Okay. So now this is literally deploying. There's something like deploying of the smart contracts, right? And deploy smart contracts on testnet, before they go into mainnet and the rest of it. Like Edidio, I think Edidio said is the right time. Edidio, yeah, Edidio said is the right time. So writing is part of the blockchain. It's part of blockchain too, right? And you're interacting with things on blockchain. Okay, and I think I'll be wrapping up now. Yeah, I'll be wrapping up now definitely. So I would just want to reiterate on our key points, which, like I said, blockchain is secure, transparent, centralized and immutable, and just empowers cryptocurrency, smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, and also it has a lot of prospects, has a lot of future in Web3, the metaverse, and enterprise blockchain too. And the next thing to do, I usually have CTs, call to action, is getting yourself much in touch with blockchain, learning all of these things I said, like how cryptocurrencies work, how smart contracts. And I know I checked out the course outline of the whole academy, and I know this is a very rich academy. The contents are too rich. Yeah, because everything I'm doing here is just blockchain, and I've been saying a lot, but just speaking on one key content, let's say cryptocurrency, it's really a lot. Yeah, it's really a lot. So now the next step is getting to learn more, getting to hear more, getting to get in touch with more knowledge in terms of blockchain and its technologies, exploring different blockchains like Ethereum, Hyperledger, and also getting yourself involved in the tools for deeper learning. I don't know. Thank you, everyone, for joining in now. That was quite late, like quite late. But yeah, thank you for joining. So, Ejijon, you've stayed up to this part of the call. Do you have any question?
I'm sorry for coming late, please. I didn't have some time.
No, I don't have a question.
All right, you don't have any a question. Now, here is it. I will give an assignment for this class. Give an assignment for this class. Even if you weren't present or not, I think you should partake in the assignment. Team leader of Ello'Quest, is that okay?
Yeah, it's absolutely okay.
So yeah, I'll give an assignment, and for persons that are new into the whole cryptocurrency and blockchain, I want you to get yourself immersed into blockchain. I'll drop the assignment on the general group on class that we've had. It's just basically things I spoke on, getting to find out more things about it. Okay. Um, yeah, I'll leave the floor open to Effiong. Yeah, Effiong, you too. Sorry for. I know you might. It's crazy. You might be very busy and a lot, but yeah. So I would love you to introduce yourself to everyone in here.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening.
Please, I'm very sorry for coming quite late. Please, I'm sorry for that. My name is Effiong, Linus Effiong, and I'm based in FCT presently now. And I'm just quite a businessman. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mr. Austin, so what I would expect from you is maybe to give a rundown of what you've done. I believe most of them were busy because these are all working persons, and definitely their timing might not really favor them with the class. So you can just give a rundown of what you've done so far, at least. And possibly I will drop a recorded session for the space so they can all replay it again to learn more. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. Founders at Ello'Quest. Okay. So I'll just give a rundown of everything I discussed and right from the beginning. So today we were speaking on blockchain. I was speaking on blockchain and why blockchain, and I said blockchain in 30 minutes. Yeah, blockchain in 60 minutes. Where you get to understand what is blockchain, why, um, things behind the blockchain. So, like I said, the definition of blockchain is a blockchain is a distributed digital ledger that records transactions in a secure, transparent, and immutable way. Yeah, secure, transparent, and immutable way. Started from 2008 rather, and it has the technology behind Bitcoin. Why blockchain? One, decentralization. Two, transparency. Three, security. In terms of decentralization, there is no central authority. Network participants maintain the ledger. And transparency, all transactions are visible to participants of the blockchain. And security, it uses cryptography to secure data. So data cannot be wiped out or taken off the record. Okay, and I spoke on the blockchain versus the traditional database. Traditional database is they are centralized. They are centralized and can be altered, while blockchain is decentralized and empower. If you are following,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm very active.
all right, thank you so much. So now we got into how blockchain works. I listed a few things to note, like blocks, chains, nodes, transactions, and hashing, consensus mechanisms, and public and private keys. And I said a block contains data, that's transactions, a hash, and the hash of the previous block. While chains are just blocks that are linked in sequence, forming a chain that cannot be easily changed. So, like as the name implies, a blockchain is just a chain of blocks. It's just a chain of blocks that contains data, hash, the hash of the previous block. And another concept in blockchain you need to understand is nodes, NOTES. Now, computers that maintain and they are computers that maintain and validate the blockchain. So, for every network of blockchain you see emerging, computers are actively running to keep the blockchain stable, okay, and help validate these blockchain networks, okay. So now there's transaction and hashing. Transactions are recorded and given a unique cryptographic hash, like a digital fingerprint. And there's consensus mechanisms. So far, basically, there are two consensus mechanisms, but there are more other consensus mechanisms. And there's a proof of work, miners solve puzzles to validate blocks, and also there's a proof of stake, which validates or stake coins to secure the network. Then I spoke on the concept of public and private keys, and literally the public key is your wallet address. That key that should be and is visible to all. And then we have the private key. Private key should not be visible to all. Should not be visible to all. It starts strings of alphanumeric letters. Sorry, alphanumeric symbols. Alphanumeric combinations rather. Alphanumeric combinations. From these things they form a string, and this is your private key. And they could come in form of seed phrases. But seed phrase is a form of a private key. And it's like a password, get secret to authorize your transaction, that people are not able to access your private key. That's why it's advisable to keep private key not safe. Now we have the real application and the ecosystem of blockchain. And we found out that blockchains are used in cryptocurrencies. And these cryptocurrencies are digital money, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Mana, BNB, and the rest of it all. They are digital money. We have smart contracts, and smart contract in easy terms is just self-executing contracts or programs rather on the blockchain, automatically enforce rules. Okay. Then we also have decentralized application dApps, and these applications are run on the blockchain, just like your DeFi applications and NFT. Those are what we call dApps. I don't know if you might have heard of PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is the dApp. Jupiter is a DApp, right? dApps, or how you call it, PPS, centralized applications. Then we have the industries that get to use blockchain. We have finance, supply chain, gaming and NFTs, and identity management. I've got into the point where we get to understand the wallet. What is a wallet? Why we need a wallet? And like I said, the most common wallet is the MetaMask that literally onboards people blockchain space. and we get to learn about private and public key security. Public private key security, not public key, okay, and also transact on mainnet, except that even transaction on testnet. I'm going to talk further on testnet in itself. What are testnets? How do you participate? Why testnet? Now, this is a topic. This is a topic on its own, very long outline on its own, and I wouldn't want to delve much. And lastly, we spoke on key point again, reiterating it to you all that blockchain is secure, transparent, powers cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, DeFi, and NFTs. And it has a future. And the future is Web3, which everyone is in. Metaverse, um, enterprise blockchain. Basically everything for that. I don't know if Young, did you get me? Hello, if Young, did you get me? I think we've lost him. Like I said, I'm a Gideon. I'll drop an assignment which is
No,
for
no, no.
everyone.
I hear you. I didn't turn off I didn't on my mic. I said I heard you. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you. So, like I said, I'll give an assignment, and I think everyone should be able to do it. It's a very easy assignment, like so super easy. Start fine. Found out. I think I asked of that. I don't know. Did everyone get to do the assignment?
Yeah, yeah. The assignment is for everyone. It's for everyone. So, what we'll do is we'll have the assignment. I think I have an assignment for them too. So possibly by today, any of today, they should get the assignment. And also you can drop yours. Then that submit it by next week Tuesday. Right.
I think that is fine. That's fine. That's okay. So basically, I think I should drop the assignment into your DM.
Or you can drop it into my DM. I'll just put it on the Google Docs and then send to the group.
So much. Yeah, so that's the end of today's class on blockchain. I don't know if anyone has anything to say, contribution or a question. Okay, I guess everyone all good today. So, like I said, that's the end of today's class. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Matai, founder of Ello'Quest, for this opportunity to speak to the community, get to learn and educate people. Thank you so much to everyone that attended the call too. Gideon, Effiong, and Mary. I think Mary left. And also thank you, Inyo Bong, core team members of Ello'Quest. I'm really grateful to have you here. I remain Asams Oslin, team leader of Workers Tower, and I take about. Thank you so much. Night.